Hey, what's up you guys? I'm Sara Lubratt, and in today's writing vlog, we are going to be hitting 75,000 words in the rewrite, aka draft 3 of my project DE. I've sort of given myself 4 months to complete the rewrite of DE just because I didn't really know how long it would take, and I started draft 3 in November, and so it was November through February that was like my goal, and I wanted to do roughly 25,000 words a month, and so therefore 25,000 words in November. I wanted to reach 50,000 words by the end of December, but I ended up getting to January 14th and still only being at 45,000. And so this vlog is the push from 45,000 to 75,000 and bridging that 30K. So without further ado, we're going to start the video, but if you enjoy it, please give it a big thumbs up because it really supports my channel. And now, without further ado, let's get into rewriting 30,000 words in 18 days. So today is January 14th. My goal was to hit 50,000 words in the rewrite by the end of December. Again, it's 2 weeks after that and I'm at 45,784 words, meaning that not only am I behind, I am very behind, at least as far as hoping to get my story out to betas in March goes. That's frustrating because I did really want to get this done in March because I don't want to let this thing slip past me, and so I'm like thinking about it, and that means that in order to get to where I want to be in this rewrite, I need to add 30,000 words in the next 2 weeks. I need to do some math. And the hard part is that I will be going on a work trip, and so I don't know how busy I'm gonna be with that. I don't know if I'm actually gonna be able to write for this upcoming week, or at least write very much. And so that's kind of the hard part, is I don't have a predictable schedule right now, which is frustrating when I wanna have a predictable schedule because I just wanna be able to finish rewriting draft 3. Okay, so that's 30,000 words divided by something. Okay, we're gonna include today. So if we include today, that's 18 days left. So divided by 18 is 1,666 words. Honestly, I was expecting that to be higher. Interesting. Okay, we'll see what happens. Okay, so on January 14th, I ended up rewriting 3,095 words. That's crazy. That was across 8 writing sprints and took me about 2 hours and 25 minutes total. But like, these were scenes that I freaking love and needed pretty minimal work done to them. So basically, I started the day at 45,784 words and ended the day 3,095 words later at 48,879 words. That was a great start to this trying to get 30K done in 2 weeks.
Vamos a bajar de esta manera. And we're gonna come back up. Lo que estamos observando.
All right, well, today is January 18th now? 19th. Today is January 19th. I believe that I have not spoken to you guys since January 15th, which was 3 days ago. On the 15th, I ended up rewriting 865 words in about 35 minutes. Then on January 16th, I didn't rewrite anything. On January 17th, I did not rewrite anything. And then on January 18th, which was yesterday, I did not do any rewriting, which yikes. And then today is January 19th. I am still on a work trip and have been on a work trip for the past like 4 days, and that's why I have not been doing any rewriting. However, I'm traveling today, although I won't have time to do any rewriting, but I will be traveling tomorrow and have time to do rewriting on the plane. And so that's good. I did want to jump in though and say that not all of this has been lost time, because yesterday I actually went caving for the first time ever, seeing a cave and being inside a cave, and that was so freaking cool, especially because I have a scene that happens in a cave coming up, and I had never been in a cave before, so now I can like actually add in like real stuff that I actually saw to this scene, and I'm very excited about it. It is still January 19th. It is now 11 p.m. I finished all of my traveling for today. Currently sitting in a hotel room. We'll be traveling more later today. I was mostly reading while traveling today, which was great. I had so many breakthroughs and ideas as I was working on rereading A Court of Mist and Fury, and was like taking notes and like screenshotting things that I thought would be beneficial in like the way that Sarah J. Maas words things to my story, or that I could use to enrich my story. And basically it's just like the little descriptor things that I'm trying to remind myself that I need to use more of. But basically had some good ideas for later in this book, as well as something a little bit earlier in this book that I've already rewritten, so I just wrote it down and we'll tackle that on my next go through of the story. And even came up with something else that needs to happen in book 3 and was just having some great ideas all around. And so I ended up adding 217 words of notes, but no actual rewriting. And so I will need to do more of that tomorrow on the plane. Although tomorrow's plane trip, I will be able to rewrite, whereas I have not been able to do that the past several days. So I think this was 4 days without rewriting, but that is okay. Progress is progress. I will get back to it. Okay, it's January 20th today, and we are going to get some rewriting done. It's not an option not to. Okay, let's talk about January 20th. That was yesterday. I ended up not recording anything else last night. And I definitely thought I was going to do more rewriting because I love working on creative projects on planes because I have so much undistracted time. But what I ended up doing with that time, it was actually reading A Court of Mist and Fury because I just got in the groove. The flight went by so fast because I was just loving reading that book. And so as I was reading, I was having some ideas for my personal story and how to enrich it a little bit more. And so I was writing that down. And so pretty much yesterday, I only wrote 138 words, but I made serious progress in reading A Court of Mist and Fury, or rereading technically. And so I'm marking that off as progress. It was definitely the more relaxing of the two choices, I think. And it was so nice. And so I don't regret doing that. It's just that now it's January 21st, which means that including today, there are 11 more days in January. But with that 138 words, I did pass 50K in the rewrite. So finally at where I wanted to be at the end of December. So progress is being made. It is being made, but now today is January 21st, meaning that including today, I have 11 more days in January and 24,876 more words that I want to rewrite in order to hit that 75K mark by the end of January. So that then in February, I can do the last 25-ish, maybe 30K, I don't really know, basically to just set me up to send out to beta readers in March. That is the plan. However, 24,876 words in 11 days averages out to be 2,261 words a day. So basically, I'd better get started. Okay, first writing sprint's going well. I gave myself a new goal for today because I need to be averaging 2,261 words or whatever. That today I want to try and do 3,000 because that will bring me up to the halfway mark in this story, at least in the rewrite. Draft 2 ended at 106,124 words. So if I can get to 53,062 words today, that will be the exact halfway mark of the rewrite. So that's the new goal. So as I'm working on this project and very actively trying to reach 75,000 words in the rewrite, there have been 2 quotes that have been coming to my mind, and that is that showing up fully exactly where you are is the fastest way to get where you want to go. And that is a Marie Forleo quote, and you can't be afraid to be seen trying. And that is an Evelyn from the Internet's quote. I think that those both very much go along with the whole progress is progress thing. And I just think that that's so crucial for what I'm trying to accomplish and is never a bad reminder. I also recently posted a video called 10 tips to writing your book in 2021, and tip number 10 from that video is that you just have to sit down and do it, and you have to go after your dreams with a machete, which is what I am currently trying to do. All right, so now it is later on January 21st. And I ended up rewriting 2,380 words today in a total of 2 hours and 20 minutes of rewriting sprints. That does not bring me to quite halfway. I'm not at 53,062 words, I think I decided was halfway, but I am at 52,504 words now, which is fantastic. And while I did not meet the 3,000 words that I had set for myself a little bit earlier today, I did pass the average, necessary word count per day for me to meet this goal, and so I'm very, very happy with that. And I'm also very impressed because today's scene was a very hard one to rewrite because it had to be rewritten, and a lot of it I just was reading through and trying to glean stuff from draft 2 to be moved over, but not a ton of it actually needed to be moved over or got to be moved over. So 2,380 words is very, very solid, all things considered. So now I will see you guys tomorrow on January 22nd. I just looked down and saw that I'm over halfway done with the rewrite. Today is January 22nd. I passed the 53,062 word mark, meaning that I am now over halfway done with the rewrite, aka draft 3. And I'm very excited about that. I did not end up writing 2,260-ish words that I needed to rewrite today. And now it's like 11:50 p.m. I'm at 1,040 words for the day in about 50 minutes worth of writing sprints, and I need to finish reading the book club book for tomorrow's live stream. So I'm gonna have to call it there tonight at 1,040 words, which is still very productive. I'm very happy with that, but I need to finish this book. So with that, I will see you guys tomorrow. Today is January 23rd. Getting into rewriting today was kind of hard. I don't know if that's because I stayed up so late last night reading. I was up until like 3 a.m., which has not happened in a very long time, but it felt so good to finally be that into a book. So it was for good reasons, but getting back into rewriting today was a little bit trickier. I ended up rewriting for a total of 1 hour and 5 minutes, but that was across 6 different sprints. I was averaging like 10-minute sprints, which is not what I normally do. Normally what I try to do is between like 15 and 30, but I did end up rewriting 1,632 words. No, it is not the goal of like 2,200 or whatever a day. I did pass 55,000 words though, which now means that I am 20,000 words away from my goal, which was hitting 75,000 in the rewrite. So now I'm going to do some math. Give me a second. In order to get to 75,000 by the end of January, I am now up to needing to be rewriting about 2,500 words a day, which is not ideal, and it keeps going up because I keep not quite hitting it. I did do the math though, and with roughly 45,000 words still to go in the rewrite that I hope to finish. Roughly 45,000 words, that's kind of iffy. It's probably a bit closer to like 50K left, but 45K divided by 36 days, which is through the end of February, that is only like 1,250 words a day. And so if my slightly heightened ambition, we're gonna call it, to try and accomplish this goes a couple days into February, that's okay. I do think that I'm making amazing progress, even if it's not quite the numbers I'm hoping for. Today, I just did not show up to the page as long as I needed to hit my numbers. And I know that that happens sometimes. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. And then based on what happens tomorrow, we might readjust my goal by a couple days. You can really tell that we got a fresh coating of snow last night. On my comment from yesterday, when I said that I wasn't really showing up to the page as much as I needed to in order to get that like 2,200 words in, what I meant is that from my building my writing schedule video, I figured out that I tend to have about 2 to 3 hours of creativity in me. And that's kind of my goal for wanting to work on creative projects in a day, is that I want to spend like 2 to 3 hours on writing. However, yesterday I also spent like 1 hour and a half or 2 hours editing a YouTube video. And so I did expend a lot of creative energy. Even if I didn't spend as much time writing as I normally want to, I did spend a lot of time creating, and I'm trying to forgive myself for kind of being hard on myself yesterday, because really this is a process. I'm on self-inflicted deadline. I know that I'm doing this to myself, because really 1,600 words is nothing to laugh at. That is a very solid day of writing, and I think that I would be much more appreciative of it if I wasn't trying to push myself so hard. And even more so, like in just over an hour, accomplishing that many words is like crazy ridiculous, and I should be really excited about it. And so with that being said, I've already started writing today on January 24th. However, I'm going to sit down and film another YouTube video, and then I'm going to get back to doing some more rewriting a little bit later. On January 24th, I ended up rewriting 1,075 words in 1 hour and 15 minutes. And I passed 56,000 words, so 19,000 more to go until I hit 75K, which again is only 3/4 of the way through. On January 25th, I did not end up doing any rewriting, but that was totally okay. I'm letting myself do that. And then on January 26th, I ended up rewriting 1,385 words. And now today is January 27th, and we're gonna shoot for a high word day. But first, some vegan ravioli. And I just passed 58,000 words in the rewrite. And just like that, I passed 59,000 words. And now I just passed 60,000 words in the rewrite. And this is where I'm going to stop for the evening at 60,571 words, which means that I ended up rewriting 3,081 words today in 2 hours and 25 minutes worth of rewriting sprints. Because 3,000 words a day is not something that I was often hitting, I have now added a tier to my key within my word count tracker. And while it's not up here yet, I have used it twice this month, and that is, instead of using a really dark green color, I now put black with white lettering whenever I pass 3,000 words. That's crazy. So these passages included a lot of rewriting, like more than I was expecting, but it was kind of like I would hit 3 paragraphs that would turn into like 8 paragraphs after rewriting them, and then I would hit like 2 paragraphs that were totally fine, and so I would just copy and paste those over. But I found myself making scenes much more relevant and not needing to be cut out because I was actually adding information in and conversations in that will come back later. And so today I was pretty much just making the writing a lot more relevant, which I think is fantastic because I was kind of worried that I would have to cut out a lot of the scenes that were happening because they weren't like really contributing to the plot. But for the most part, I think that it's getting better. It's not perfect, but it's getting a lot better. I am just now realizing that because I passed 60,000 words today, I have 14,500-ish words left until 75K, which is very cool. However, there are also 4 days left of January, which means, like I was kind of assuming, that I won't finish this in January, but could potentially finish like early February, which would be ideal, because from right now to roughly where I think the end of the story is, I'm kind of losing track of where I am because I'm starting to mix up chapters. Previous to like 50,000 words in the rewrite, I was tracking pretty consistently along in draft 2, so like I was roughly at the same page number in each draft, which was very cool, but now it's like all jumbled up, and so I'm not totally sure. But theoretically, I have about 46,000 more words left to do before this is done. So the end is in sight. I am almost to 3/5 of the way done with this story. Almost. I'm so close. I'll be there, I think, when I hit 63,000 words. That's not quite right. Somewhere between like 62 and 63,000 words. But I'm not good at math, so maybe. But as far as this video goes, I have 14,429 more words before I hit the 70K, and I'm done with this vlog. Good luck, Sarah. Today is January 28th, and I just passed 61,000 words. I have now passed 62,000 words in the rewrite. I have now passed 63,000 words in draft 3. And that is me breezing past 64,000 words. And I just passed 65,000 words. I just passed 65,000 words.
That's awesome.
It's like 4,500 today so far. That's crazy.
That's awesome.
I don't know how to process that. I just passed 66,000 words in draft 3. I am ending today, January 28th, at 66,749 words total in draft 3. I'm about to do the math of what that is because I started at 60,571 words today. So I have to do that math right now. Oh my gosh. That means that I ended up rewriting 6,178 words today. That's insane. Like, that is absolutely unheard of. Okay, that is crazy unexpected. I thought I was gonna like maybe get 2,000 words today. That's wild. And not only did I end up rewriting 6,178 words, that got me to a total of 66,749 words, which means that I am now just over 8,000 words away from my 75K goal by the end of January. And I did that today in 3 hours and 35 minutes worth of rewriting sprints. I was going pretty consistently at like 15 or 20 minute sprints until this evening at like 8:30 when I did an hour-long sprint, and I ended up editing over 1,000 words, 1,700 words. in an hour. And then I did a 40-minute sprint just now to finish up my evening, and oh my gosh, I knew that things were feeling really, really good today. I didn't know they were feeling that good. I kind of had a hunch because I knew I started at around 60,500, but it didn't feel real because it kept going by so fast. I know that I'm rewriting and not drafting, but the most amount of words that I've ever written in a day as a part of drafting was like 4,000 words. So the fact that I ended up rewriting 6,000 today, I'm like so crazy happy with that, but I almost don't know how to process it. Wow. Okay, hitting 75,000 in January still could be very doable because I don't feel burnt out right now like I definitely thought I would. I made a video almost a year ago talking about how much creativity I thought I had within a day, and my findings were somewhere between 2 and 3 hours a day. Maybe that has changed since then. Maybe I should redo that whole experiment where I just track for a few days and kind of see what I average out to be. But like 3 hours and 35 minutes, I have not had that much creative output in a single day in I don't know how long. I'm so happy with that. Wow. Wow. I almost feel like I need to come up with another color to put on my spreadsheet because like 6,000 words is absolutely insane. I'll check in with you guys tomorrow to see how I'm doing, if I feel any sort of fatigue from today, or if I really just needed to get all of this out and I'm still creative tomorrow. I'm hopeful. That means that in the past 3 days, I have done over 10,000 words of rewriting. That's freaking crazy. I'm trying to not put pressure on myself. There are 3 days left of January, but it could happen in the next 3 days. It might take me 4. If I finish on February 1st or 2nd, I would not be that mad. I just passed 67,000 words in the rewrite. I have now passed 68,000 words in the rewrite. I have now passed 69,000 words, which means that I only have 6,000 more to finish in the next 2 days to hit my self-inflicted deadline of 75,000 by the end of January. I just love sitting on the ground. I feel like I have better posture down here than I do when I'm sitting at the counter or sitting on the couch. Anyways, yesterday, January 28th, on top of rewriting over 6,000 freaking words, I also read like 150 pages in A Court of Wings and Ruin, which I'm currently rereading for a book club, which like, I am still in just like absolute shock with how much I got done yesterday. On top of still working and stuff, and yet somehow all of that worked out just fine. Today, despite it being a Friday, is my day off, and so I was able to rewrite 2,440 words in 1 hour and 55 minutes worth of rewriting sprints. That was about 6 writing sprints today and brought me to a total of 69,189 words, which means that I am now less than 6,000 words away from the 75K point, which was my goal for the end of January, which means that I have almost hit it and that I have 2 days left, January 30th and January 31st, which means that if I rewrite over 3,000 words tomorrow, this is like in the bag. Not quite. I don't want to overhype that because again, if this takes me 3 days instead of 2 days, that's okay. We're trying to make this very, very low pressure for me because I seem to perform better when I'm in very low pressure situations, but I might be able to finish the next 2 days and I'm very excited about that. Finish. The book will not be finished at 75K. I will just be at 75K out of like 106-ish thousand. Hopefully. I have actually been like very impressed with how closely draft 3 is tracking along with draft 2 thus far. And I'm talking as far as page count goes, because until the last couple days, I have been at pretty much the same page number, which is impressive considering I have passed halfway. I definitely thought I was going to be adding a lot more words. Yes, I think that I will be adding more words towards the end of the book, but I am now 3 pages ahead of where the same stuff is happening in draft 2. So I am starting to add some words, and that has mostly happened over the past couple of days. It's just interesting. That'll be interesting to see how it continues tracking throughout the rest of the rewrite. But anyways, 2 days left. Hopefully I can finish this in the next 2 days because then I will be at the 30,000 point for this vlog, which was the whole goal to begin with, was vlogging me rewriting 30,000 words in ideally 2 weeks. I'm pretty sure it's been longer than 2 weeks, but I don't want to to look right now, so I'll see you guys tomorrow. I just passed 70,000 words in draft 3. That's wild. I'm so excited. Okay, so on January 30th, I ended up getting to 71,097 words, which means that I ended up rewriting 1,908 words today in a total of like 1 hour and 25 or so minutes, which puts me at just under 4,000 words to my 75K goal for this video / the end of January. So if I have a great writing day tomorrow, I'll hit it, but if not, then I'll probably hit it on February 1st, and that will be totally okay. And I just passed 72,000 words. And I just passed 73,000. Now that I've passed about 73,000 words, I'm pretty much at a scene that will pretty much be copy and pasted over from draft 2 into draft 3. So finishing and getting to the 75K today might be much easier than I had originally thought. And so we're gonna see how fast this happens. I have now passed 74,000 words. And I just passed 75,000 words. I do have 3 hours left to go, but I did it before the end of January, which is the goal. So January 30 freaking first. I didn't even do my math yet. I started the day at 71,097 words in draft 3 and ended my day at 75,187 words, which means that I did indeed hit my 75K goal by the end of January with a couple hours to spare. I was really getting worried about it a couple days ago. I would kind of like go back and forth between like really optimistic and like, oh my gosh, this is gonna go into February. But basically today I ended up rewriting 4,090 words, which again is just freaking crazy. And I did that in 7 writing sprints in about 2 hours and 25 minutes of rewriting sprints. I also did those last 2,000 words in a 45-minute sprint, like mad dash to the end. And I was able to do that because the scene that I finished on, which was like very nice and very convenient, was one that I was like very, very happy with and still am quite happy with. I did have to tweak a couple of things because of things that I've been adjusting, but most of it was very easy to just like change a couple of words around within sentences or whatever, and then take out a couple sentences, but pretty much everything was copy and pasted over as I was rereading that section, and I love it so much, which means that I freaking did it. So I did end up rewriting like 30K in the last like 2 weeks, but I'm gonna go to bed now because I'm tired, but I'll jump on tomorrow to talk about my stats and close out the video. So it is now the next day, AKA February 1st. I wanted to celebrate hitting that 75,000 words last night by making pancakes, and I did, but I burned every single one that I made, and then I topped them with maple almond butter and vegan ice cream, which was supposed to be good, but I didn't realize that I was using a sugar-free vanilla ice cream, which was basically just like a block of ice. So a little bit failed on the celebration there, but I still had chocolate chip pancakes, so that wasn't that bad. But anyways, let's talk about my statistics for January 14th through 31st, as well as my thoughts on how I did. So out of the 18 days that spans January 14th through January 31st, I ended up writing 13 of those 18 days, meaning that out of the last 18 days, I did have 5 0-word days, and in that time span, I ended up rewriting 29,169 words and spent a total of 21 hours and 40 minutes working on rewriting. I was absolutely amazed and in shock at some of the crazy high word days that I did get. 4 of the last 18 days, I did end up rewriting over 3,000 words, being on the first day, which was January 14th, with 3,095 words, January 27th with 3,081 words, January 28th with 6,178 words, and then yesterday, January 31st, with 4,090 words rewritten. This did bring me up to a total of 75,187 words in draft 3, and in the last 6 days alone, I ended up rewriting 19,082 words. That's insane. If I wrote that fast, or if I rewrote that fast, it would have taken me just over 2 months to do this rewrite, but I got so much done. I wish that I could write like this constantly, but I also know that that's not how creativity works, or at least that's not how my creativity currently works. There is such an ebb and flow with creativity. Like I noticed on my 6,000 178 word day where things were just feeling absolutely amazing. There were a couple scenes where I was pretty much just able to like copy and paste them over with only minor changes. And then there were some days where pretty much everything had to be rewritten. And so it's kind of just like taking that in stride and continuing to work on it in showing up for myself and just showing up to the page, putting in the time, not necessarily the word count, because if I do the time, then the words will come. And I'm very happy with that, except I do have to keep reminding myself that because progress is progress. And the only way to actually make the progress is to show up to the page. And so it's just a very good reminder for myself. That I think is gonna be it for me today, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this mildly, slightly chaotic video, please give it a thumbs up because it really supports my channel. Feel free to leave a comment down below and tell me where you're at with your story, as I would love to know. And while you're down there, if you have not already but you want to see more videos from me, make sure you hit that big red subscribe button and that little notification bell next to it so you don't miss another one of my uploads. And I will see you guys next time with another video. Bye!